Hi guys, it's me, just Machine again, and for this video, I shall be covering the next section of the Elfen series of manga, or manga, do you prefer to pronounce it as. In this instance, I will be covering Omnibus Volume 2 of this very, very good manga series. Now, there are some, there's a commonality that is secret between this one and the anime. And it's an anime series that, no one liked too. Well, I'll get into it when I get into it. But for right now, this is going to cover chapters 28 to 60. And that's quite a bit of territory to cover. So I might forget a few things, or I might blend the first one with the second one, but yeah. But this acts as both a sequel to the original Omnibus, that'd be chapter 1 through 27, I believe, and a sequel and a prequel. See what happened to make Lucy and the other clone hate human beings with a passion. And it's quite amazing how this translates into real life. The way human beings, especially scientists, can be cruel to other life forms, especially animals. But we'll get more into that later on. But we are led to believe from the first comic and the second selection here that Lucy is the ultimate predator of the cloning race. The cloning, however you pronounce it. And we see that there are multiple clones in this world. For anyone that actually saw the cartoon, there's a big difference between the cartoon and the original source material. But for the most part, it's all. Well, I should say, this character right here, the one with pigtails and the shorter stature, it's actually one of the big ones. I'll talk about the two when I get to it. But right now, we pull Nana here, the brunette, the bunch, and she actually is the second one that she's the second one of this group that is absolutely, but she's more on the side of the scientist guys there. And I think one of them even took her out as a surrogate daughter. Surprise, the woman with pigtails, Mariko, is actually the biological daughter of the head scientist guy, the golden calculated Mr. K. We can look at the name, Kawasawa, something or other. And she's supposed to hunt down Lucy with the utmost ruthlessness and killer instinct, kind of like the other anime that I know of. And it's very cherished by me for reasons. So anyway, ever attacking Lucy in like this old inn, and the inn's owned by the people that took him in from the first one. from the first Omnibus, and they're kind of sweet. And then they tell her to knock off, being that she's still in the innocent phase of her existence, the new version. And it's quite interesting the way they got this one girl constantly attacking her and wanting her dead, and new to them it is not the biggest threat at all. So she does have her perfect moments, but she's homeless. It's basically homeless, and she gets very touchy feeling around the men and the women of the group. So that's actually kind of funny. Oh, Japan, won't your silly ways end right now? But that's par for course for some anime and manga. So anyway, they show that she's a killer of this person because she believes that since the father got rid of her, sister out with money into a pot or something for her own safety, because the scientist network wants her gone altogether, deleted. He sends her away with shit ton of money, but he never told her what to do with the money, what it's used for. So I never got that right. That there are people there that send their children or their foster kids away to God knows where, and with God's money on hand, but they don't tell them what the money's for. They give them all this wealth, but they don't have any idea what to do with it. And that kind of bothered me a little bit. She ends up trying to burn it, and somebody said, "What the hell are you doing? Were you stupid or something? No, don't burn that money. Don't burn those high bill amounts, like 10,000 yen or something like that. I don't know what the American version of that is like. I'm assuming it's a lot of money, but I think it's like something like $100,000 at least, like a big wad of a $10,000 yen, 10,000 yen notes. So anyway, they have her trying to appeal to her father, try to take down Lucy, and that if she's successful, she'll get loving and kissing and all the other good stuff from her father. Not in a weird Donald Trump way, but I'm just saying, like, in the normal sense of things. I think that at the end of the book, I think that her father does go with her eventually, I believe. Maybe that will be taken for part number 3. But in any case, then we get into Lucy's backstory. She is quite literally designed by Nana. That's the brunette's name, Nana. And Nana is like more put this, more agile, more her vector arms can go up for longer distance, but whatnot. So anyway, they show her short backstory as being the only kid in the orphanage with horns, even though they don't look much like horns, they look more like ears to me. But anyway, I digress. She wears kind of hat. It's kind of thing that conceal the horns. But no, they just have her she has like a beanie on her, which you have later on in the series. Well, anyway, they show they show this kid with and she's a loner pretty much, and then she adopts a puppy, and which would be immediately owned by someone else. But anyway, she gets a puppy, and the boys in this school are very cool to this poor girl, and they're very cool to the puppy. They actually beat it senseless with a heavy object, like a stone or something. Now, if that were to happen to me, if someone were to hold me down and kill my cat or my dog, I wouldn't say that all human beings are evil. All human beings just die and stuff. I would say that these people deserve to be punished, but everyone else in the world doesn't deserve that same fate. They kind of overplayed a little bit, and they even had this one girl in class with her, not learning and stuff too, and she's like trying to become a best friend and everything. But in the end, the girl ended up crossing Lucy too. So they got another person that's on the wanted list. Now, in the cartoon, they show the kid beating up the puppy, of course, and then they show. I don't know if they actually show the girl or not, but that's not right either. That they beat up the puppy and stuff, but still take out the entire vengeance on this whole human race, all because you had a few really traumatic experiences with your boys. It's kind of an overreaction. I don't care how young or how traumatic it was. It's a little bit over the top. I mean, I can't see that happening, her hating the world and everything else. Is it was like if after the experiments that the scientists conducted on her were just as horrible as what they say for the other people. But I can't see that for Lucy for just a bunch of boys beating up her dog to death. So anyway, we also find out that this girl is also mate Kota, the guy who took her in the first on the best section, and it's kind of coincidental that they meet each other and stuff, and that kind of like a little rivalry with his girlfriend, but it's very coincidental that they actually made it. He did that thing where the father doesn't want the kid to go out, but he wants to go out to meet the girl, and he almost don't make it until the father does let the boy go out and see his friend, even though there's been a lot of murders around. Boy, I wonder who could have done that. I wonder who could be capable of killing someone just from their thoughts. I wonder who that could be. That's a backstory. Now, another little thing from the cartoon is the character Mariko, the one in the picture that I showed you before. She happens to be the biological daughter of the scientist, like I said, but she's special. What I mean by that is that she doesn't live here, and she's got really powerful vectors. To the point that they have like, twice the size of Lucy's vectors and about longer than Nana's are. But she didn't live here, she's paraplegic, agitated and all that. And it really goes to show the cruelty of these people, these scientists that they seen the danger of her being born with horns on her, so they figured to keep her as weak as possible. And they emancipated her. They treated her like I should put this. They wanted to minimize her threat to the maximum ability possible, so they kept her in a wheelchair. They kept it weak. They kept it on the bare bones minimum feeding apparatus, and by that I mean they put a feeding tube, I think, in her chest area, lead down to her stomach, and then from there they put an exit tube for the waist, right up her pooper. So you see her like almost like a zombie, half gone, trying to get out of the chair to destroy somebody, and you see this exit tube just leaving her body like that's not living. That's barely surviving. That's so damn cool. And I could imagine scientists were doing that to an human, but like an animal creature, because they don't realize that these are living sentient beings. They don't think of them as that. They think of them as specimen number 5 or specimen number 7. They tend to be very dangerous, and they can kill a man easily, or a woman for that matter. And they kept it in wheelchair. They also put like all kinds of explosives all over her body, so that if she were to get out and kill her handlers, they would have detonate, and they would have detonated her arm will come off, her leg will come off, her foot will come off, and her head and her torso would be blown to bits. They went to the nest and to sleep, because that's the way it works. And she actually does almost escape during like a feeding time thing, and it's just so cool, so heartless, especially for the fact that this is the head scientist, biological daughter. After the failed attempt to have a baby with the mother, Gabriel's whole mother had a lost pregnancy, which they do address at the end of this comic. They do say that she lost the baby and that she tried again and stuff, and 6 months later Falco was born, because they were pregnant with Morocco. Which, by the way, I gotta say, I think it's really hilarious that when a guy and a woman have a baby, the woman says, "I'm pregnant," which is really dull, because she does all the work. She goes to labor. She has to protect the baby. She feeds the baby when the baby comes out, and then she has to nurse the baby. She has to deal with morning sickness and the whole lot. And the husband uses a guy that says, "Oh, we're pregnant," and the mother could easily say to him, "I'm the one that's pregnant. You're on your high horse. You don't do anything. You just feed me and everything else. Give me shelter." And I always love it whenever there's a pregnancy scene in the movie or something, and the mother giving birth and stuff, and she says, "You did this to me, you bastard." But apparently when you have horns, because the guy was touched by an angel in the first movie, before Marco was even conceived. One of the specimen number 3 were vectors in his head. It didn't kill him, but he just passed on the virus to him, so that whenever he has sex or whenever he has a baby next, the baby ends up becoming a definite vector for the virus. He becomes the clone eyes. And that's how they reproduce. Besides the type thing. Anyway, so every woman who gets pregnant will definitely be a clone. Whether it be his wife or whatever. But I'm just saying that because the horns and stuff start developing in the womb, that's gotta be pretty messy to give birth like that. With two pointy things come out of the side of the baby head. It's gotta be rough for any woman to have that go past her vagina. Unless they're soft when they come out. Even so, it's gotta be pain in the ass. I'll get wrong end, but yeah, it's gotta be pain. So anyway, yeah, in the illustration there, I'll show you again real close. Like, does this look see the illustrated to you? I can't see a wheelchair in it. Let's talk a little bit of false false advertising. That's me. It reminded me of that Jockey Penny guy where by his husband give birth to a kid, and they do it the wheelchair. The doctor puts the wheelchair on the side of her body before giving birth to the baby daughter. In any case, they show experiment number 3 before she puts her hand on the good scientist. They show her being hit in the face with metal balls and dodging them. But no, this isn't your regular dodgeball. These are metal balls for one thing. If at the center of baseball, but they're pure metal, heavy metal, if you will. And the kids, and yes, there are kids like 4 or 5 years old at the time when they do this type of experimentation. It ends up like this, so they can't move their arms, they can't move their legs, and they can't move their torsos. The only way that they can actually dodge these balls that are coming at them at 270 joules, 250 joules, and then 300 joules. The only way they can move it is by moving their necks back and forth. It's really cool for them to be experiencing that. And that's why I would think that Lucy and the others would hate humanity. For all the torture that they're being put through. And need blood work and other isolation stuff. Be isolated from humans so long by humans would kind of make me hate them even more. But besides that, we got me thinking what the one for this specimen 3, which they don't really give the names for it, just number 3, specimen number 3. They show that she's smart, she's a clever girl, and she's constantly dumbed down her score so that it lures the scientists into a false sense of comfort, and then they go over and they question her, which is the wrong thing to do, especially when you got such a wild and crazy death machine that's gonna come at you and solve. And they killed the guy there, the guard there, and then it's supposed to kill the main scientist guy on the future by throwing a piece of meat away. Raw meat, you say. And then they have and go back with the head director scientist guy, Dr. K, and she ends up touching Dr. K in the face and the head, getting the disease, and then the other guy shoots her in the head with a giant rifle, saying that she can deflect the bullets from a pistol, but a high-power rifle can't do it. Can't be stopped, not by her anyway. Because as they get older, the clone get better reflexes and better skill with the vector arms. So anyway, they show a parallel history of Lucy and a parallel history of the director, which really I like the way they and then he's like a daughter, and he always says Papa this, Papa that to Director K. Kinda like Papa, can you hear me? From the Thriller on Roof movie. I think play too. Anyway, my dad would know about it because he loves the movie. So anyway, they have Marco, which is his biological daughter, which is like kind of interesting that she's disabled. Well, I'm sure that if she were full fed and exercised right, she could probably get the organ strength in no time. So in any case, they do have a thing where they have like a showdown between Marco and Nana. Nana is like I'm about to down when Marco has to be sent out to kill either Lucy or Nana, and then the other one's kind of bonus level, if you will. So that's that. And it's pretty nice because for all Nana's kick-assery in the first part with Lucy and New and all that, she's more of a, I wouldn't say a pacifist in some, but she definitely is lacking skill. Like, for example, you think that dealing with an enemy that's in a wheelchair bound, you think you need to target. But she has many more pictures and longer vectors too than Lucy and then they combine. So she's a formidable threat. But as soon as she gets out of the wheelchair, she falls, obviously. And that's a weakness. And I think she gets stomped by Nana until father, until no more sibling rivalry. You two get along with each other. And then she becomes I'm not saying yet, because I didn't get to number 3 yet. I'm just assuming that she's gonna be like a lot of threat than the others, and they do nurse her back to health. And they also have the crazy guy from the first one that's so gung-ho over getting Lucy and killing him and getting his revenge for making him a carrier for the vector virus as well. Like that direct hate. So also now for the other anime that I see the influence in this one. And then we Steel Angel Kurumi. Now in that one they have a girl with pink hair. Like this one. She's very deadly, very strong, in a cute young maid outfit. Like the would expect from a Japanese maid service or a restaurant or something. And she befriends her master. Now the master ends up kissing her, therefore activating her large heart. And her heart is put this it's a large sphere that and it's still got a very large personality, but that way she's very bubbly, she's very nice, and she possibly the influence for Lucy being the pickier, and it's a strong attitude and stuff, but she's a robot. Also, this other character is named Saki. I'm sure it's got nothing to do with drink of Japan sake, but she ends up being a kick-ass warrior girl who ends up trying to take Kurumi back to the scientist that made her, and Kurumi ends up kissing Saki, and she got a very similar personality to Kurumi, but when she gets activated by Kurumi, she starts acting like a lesbian, falling in love with her, and doing everything for her and everything in the maid outfit. But that's more about like a Black Lagoon, like what's the name? I can't think of it now. And they go from Big O. Dorothy. So anyway, she becomes much less of a fighter, if you will, whenever she's trying to defend Kurumi and the Master against other forces that the scientist government sent after them. And then there's Karinka. I love Karinka. Okay. She's my favorite one. And she has like a weird airline enthusiast outfit. Much in the same vein as they do in the Fifth Element. And she's blonde with much less of personality even though she does the two of those Mark II hearts, of those big sphere hearts, which means she should be double as powerful as the other two. But she is still powerful, and she falls in love with the master more of an organic way. You know, she doesn't do it by aggravation or anything like that. She does it because she likes the master and she wants to see him safely through. She wants to see him safely through. And the reason why I bring Sir Angel Kurumi is that these badass soldiers of death, these experimental weapons, once they break away from the bad, evil military scientists, government politics stuff, when they get away from that, they become less of warriors and more like regular people. And there's a very interesting hair color dynamic too. First one's pink, and then there's a brunette, and there's a blonde. So, Lucy was pink. She had pink hair. Nana is very obviously brunette. And then Marco over here is very clearly blonde. So there's a very good train of thought here that when these girls end up signing with the good guys, not trying to each other, they become less of a warrior, less of a hardcore warrior group of people. And then they get along good with humans up to a point. Because now they're able to lead normal lives again. Oh, if I knew someone with these type of horns, I want to be their friend. Yeah, the horns are cool. Like I said, less like horns, more like ears, puppy dog ears. And I thought that in its comic they would have like puppy from the last one be like a trigger for Lucy or new. But apparently not. Nana still took away New's Vector's ability because she put her hands inside of her brain like that Persona Nova did. But I think that by the end of Volume 3 of the Omnibus, I think they're gonna have all of her abilities restored. And yes, they have to have in its comic book, even though they're about preteen girls, they had to have lots of boobies and lots of nudity. I don't know why they had to have them all the time topless and bottomless, but they do. And barefoot too. You have to have that because you can't have a complete naked body without having barefoot. For whatever reason. I have no idea why they would have these, again, preteen girls like this. But they do. It's kind of disturbing how many of these things are like that. I mean, they do have this one part in the manga where Kota and his girlfriend do end up having a more intimate part of it, and she does she get a little overly happy about it, but still that's between two older people, two adults. I don't see why they have to have it. And not only that, but definitely clothes too. So I don't get why they have to why they insist on having these girls but us naked. And then they fight and then they shove their arms off. They're like okay, I'm for that. Where I'm sure that when someone gets a limb blown off or a limb chopped off, that's like they just pop it right back in and move on like nothing else happened. I'm sure there's gotta be like a show or something with arms, spare arms for these people. And oops, they go to another one. Need another one, Sammy. I need another result right here. So anyway, they cut off into this with Marco being born, her being pregnant with Marco, and then that's it. So the main fight between Nana and Marco ending up being a draw because the father said to stop at both of you guys. And they didn't have like a Maury type thing where they say, I am your father, obey me, don't fight. That was actually kind of funny. I guess it is assumed that the director will go with the good guys and live in peace with Marco and then to be genetically separate from the human race. Kind of like the mutants from X-Men. But I don't like the fact that it always show like a big bad villain like Lucy. Not really villain, but treated as such by human healers. But then again, there's always gotta be one person next in line that's tougher than that one. And then they got one more tougher than that one. Like Rosie, Naruto, like all the other major enemy. And Sun Moon too. So that's one thing I don't like. I don't like because they're like, oh, we have experiment number 555 or whatever. And then we have 666 of them more terrifying than that one. And then we have XYZ, even more powerful than that one. So, yeah. And also look at the fact that they have in this picture with longer hair. In the manga, she's not with longer hair. So I guess it meant to have this as like setting up at number 3, I guess, or number 4. I think it goes as high as number 3. Yeah, number. I like it. I think could be a clinical thing. I'm just afraid that they never gave Marco the same mask and treatment as Lucy did. And I guess it could be because she was the daughter of the director guy that he had a little bit of mercy on her. So, yeah, I like it. There's at least one bonus story on the end of this. Like I said, story with the first manga Omnibus. uncover each one of the stories, as they come along, because they're really quite good. And my friends tell me I want to read that. It's about pretty little girls and that kind of thing. I said, oh no, sweet innocent Sean. These are not innocent little girls yet. They're death machines that they will fuck you up with their invisible hands. By the way, I'd be curious to know what does this mean? These country symbols. What do they mean in English? I honestly don't know. Anyway, yeah, I enjoyed the Omnibus. I enjoyed the parallels with the Strange community. I'll get to soon whenever I do it. And I enjoyed the cruelty of man against something that he doesn't understand and doesn't want to understand, who just hates these creatures. And you know what? As an animal, I could see why they strike back and hate humanity too. Also, the whole prequel sequel thing is kind of good. It's real fascinating to see how they show Lucy's backstory, Mariko's backstory, and how they grew up to hate humanity, hate the captors, hate everybody that would them differently, and strike back first before they're struck first by humans. And I like the way they show the way they have a sequel where they have each other fight one another for brown rapes as to who the papa really is. And I just like it altogether. So I thank you for watching my video on second Elfen Omnibus number 2, chapter 20 to 60. I don't know why they put those numbers in here, and I don't know why they ended up on even number. Like that would have been really nice in the first one rather than the on 27. But yeah, this is something like 125 pages worth here I just read. Not what was, but the same. So I thank you for watching that. Again, I give the happy piece of approval because it shows how man can be cruel and very cold and very sterile when it comes to certain things. Like, they don't care that they work on sentient beings here. It just want results. Now, I know that this might be kind of weird and kind of personal, but I too have been experimented on by doctors and by scientists to no avail to what I have. And yeah, they all can be quite full and be quite probing, quite aggravating, especially when you're a minor, because they don't want to take no for an answer. They have to keep probing me and prodding me, and then everything else until they get the answer and possibly a cure. Even though I might not want to go through certain tests. They convinced my mother and my father into doing the tests. effects on me, and some were quite disturbing, much like they did with Lucy and Mariko. Although I don't remember them hitting me with any balls anytime in my memory, goodness. But they did do very horrific blood tests, nerve conducting tests, and just in general very painful, annoying processes, and painful too. And I like the whole prequel aspect of it, and the parallels they have for Strange Kurumi. But I think that Strange Kurumi came out before this, so I get the influence or assume the ideas from that cartoon. Anyway, if you like what you see here and you want more of my videos, then like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also contact me for future information on my future stuff by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707. And if you want, you can always get me on my follow me on Twitter or X if you prefer at PMeltonPro. Also, you can get my email address at jjsviewingchannel@gmail.com. So, I hope all you guys enjoy this manga in general, and anything else for that matter. I would encourage you guys to read this, look at the pages, and you'll enjoy the manga, because it's very, very good. It's also very gory too. They always have like 7 heads. The X-Men throwing their heads around. Blood spreads are pretty nice. And like it's a lot and lots of boobies. So he's up my business. Just I'll see you in the next video. All you girl and guys in Ancient Land. Sayonara.